Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk with you about how we can actually go deeper than shifting what a limiting belief is. We have all heard and understood. I would imagine if you're on this journey or listening to content like this, you've all probably heard that you have a limiting belief system and you need to shift it. I say it even often all the time. But I want to kind of share with you something that I believe is even deeper than the idea that there's a limiting belief that you need to shift or move in some way. If you're new here, my name is Pat, and I help people on their self-realization journey take their power back from the people, places, and things that we've unconsciously given our power away to. And that includes me. You don't want to give your power away to me or anyone else either. So if that's the journey you're on, consider subscribing for more and realize that it is all you. There's no one else in the room. It is all a journey for you to realize your true nature. And when you realize your true nature and the power that you hold from within, all of the stories that you now are observing that represented all of the experiences that you had from not believing you were that thing start to come to light. And all of the things and parts of us that we push down into the shadow of us, representing all of the, we'll call, limiting belief systems that you used to define yourself by, they start to become more apparent. They might even begin to reveal themselves in your world more. You might start to see more evidence of all of the belief systems that you used to hold or run from or distract yourself from. So the process of realizing that you can shift a limiting belief seems to be presented in a way that it's just like, well, choose another belief. How do I shift a limiting belief? Well, choose another one. I'm not good at anything and nobody loves me. People who love me hurt me. They abandon me. They leave me. These are all belief systems that are not objectively true, but we believe that they represent some part of us to be true for us subjectively. So we want to shift that thing. I want to start saying that everything does work out for me. I want to start believing that I can attract love and be lovable and valuable to someone else. The first thing that we need to do is realize that just simply shifting a belief to another more favorable belief system, while helpful, is not the overall goal or answer to the process of shifting a limiting belief. It's still living in the landscape of the mind. It's still living in the landscape of a character that believes it needs to shift a belief. I've got to say that again because it's hyper important. It's still living in the landscape of a character that believes that it needs to shift a belief. All of this is living inside of the illusion of a mind that doesn't understand the power of who you are. So if you really want to get beyond the belief that is limiting you in some way, it's not necessarily shifting it to another belief that affirms something different. That's why sometimes positive affirmations can have a quote unquote unwanted or negative perceived response. It's because the mind doesn't believe it, so it tries to kick it out. We have to say it over and over and over again, and even then it still sometimes doesn't stick. The reason why is because we are trying to all do this in the landscape of the matrix. We're trying to do it in the landscape of the mind, but you are not your mind. You are aware of your mind. Subject, object, subject, object. So if it is something you are aware of, then it cannot be you. So what does that mean? That means that it's all asking you, all the suffering, all the pain, all of the limiting belief systems, it is all pointing home to the you, the self, capital S self, the awareness of the experience, the light of your consciousness, the peace and space of your being. I don't have any more buzzwords to throw at you. All of that present awareness that is observing the belief systems that the character that you used to think you were now believes it needs to change. All you need to do is realize that you are the space where those beliefs, limiting or otherwise, are existing in. You are the space. You are not the belief. The more you focus your identity on that space and on the presence and the power of existence itself as defined by you, the self I am awareness that's experiencing this game, the more you focus on the awareness, then the less you identify with the belief. And the less you identify with belief, the structure of it itself dissipates. And it's so much more powerful than just shifting to another belief or affirmation. It's recognizing and realizing for yourself something no one can take away from you, the power and the nature of who you are. You can do this with anything that represents any form of limitation that you have allowed yourself to attach to at any point during your journey. Any traumatic event, any unwanted event, any situation or relationship that didn't go favorably for you. All of these experiences are pointing either towards an identity of a character that does not understand that it is the absolute nature of being and existence and creation and love, and perpetually create situations to show that back to it, or the understanding that you are that, and that you are the experience of all of those amazing things in every single given moment. And it is up to us to either align our identity to the character and live out that story again and suffer by it, or take your power back and realize that none of those things had any power over you. None of those belief structures are even remotely true. Even if you have evidence in the world, they are not objectively true, because your objective truth for you exists right here. So again, just to wrap this up, the more you focus on the space here, the awareness of the belief system that you are looking to shift or move, then the power that the belief system used to have over you will dissipate. Again, if you do this quickly, you might not feel the effect. We have to be disciplined enough to sit in that space where something that used to make us uncomfortable is losing its power over time. This is a meditative process, and it will absolutely free you from any condition that you ever thought you had inside of your mind, because you will become more and more aware that you are not the mind, you are the observer of it, and that will provide you freedom from it. And that is what I wish for each and every single one of you. Thank you again for joining me here. Until next time, have an amazing day, a wonderful night, and I will see you then.